This guy's scratching his head, even though he's bleeding heavily and doesn't seem to care. Just moments ago, Dio used his time stop ability and managed to escape Jotaro's attack range. Realizing what happened, Jotaro quickly drew his knife and threw it at Dio, but unexpectedly, it hit the car Dio was in and flipped it over. When Dio finally stopped, he immediately grabbed a manhole cover, trying to make his escape. But the next second, he was shocked to find Jotaro waiting for him below. Seeing this, Dio quickly attacked, but Jotaro interrupted him with a single punch. Then Jotaro launched a fierce counterattack, and with one more powerful punch, he sent Dio flying. However, what shocked him even more was that Dio was standing there unharmed. Turns out, he'd absorbed Joseph's blood. Jotaro was furious at this and immediately prepared to strike again, but just then, a thick smoke rose from Joseph's body. Jotaro was stunned when he saw it was his grandfather's spirit. Joseph's spirit gave Jotaro a final message before disappearing into the air. Before Jotaro could react, Dio thrust his hand into Joseph's body, quickly draining it, leaving behind a withered corpse. Jotaro, now completely enraged, charged at Dio in a fit of fury. A fierce battle broke out. Dio used his time stop ability first to attack Jotaro, but Jotaro only had a limited time to retaliate. To Dio's surprise, Jotaro managed to land a punch that shattered Dio's fist, but Dio wasn't fazed. He knew Jotaro couldn't keep moving under his time stop for long. Just as he thought that, Jotaro froze. Dio launched a brutal attack, breaking several of Jotaro's bones and slamming him to the ground. Seeing Jotaro badly injured, Dio activated time stop again, ready to finish him off. However, to Jotaro's surprise, Dio suddenly disappeared, leaving no trace of him anywhere. Jotaro couldn't risk activating his full movement ability yet, as he only had 2 seconds of movement while Dio was frozen in time. Just then, a huge shadow appeared above Jotaro. To his shock, Dio had brought in a massive steamroller. Without hesitation, Jotaro attacked. The two began a fierce test of strength, and as time passed, Dio landed a punch that sent the steamroller crashing to the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. Dio, believing that Jotaro had been crushed into paste, began to move in for the kill, ready to drain Jotaro's blood. But then, to his surprise, he found that his body couldn't move. He turned around in shock to see Jotaro, completely unharmed, standing right behind him. That's when he realized Jotaro had learned how to stop time as well. Dio, having used up his only time to move by talking, was now completely frozen. Without wasting any time, Jotaro kicked Dio's legs out from under him, snapping them both instantly. When Jotaro reached Dio, the villain suddenly shot his blood into Jotaro's face, trying to blind him. Taking advantage of Jotaro's brief loss of vision, Dio kicked him, but Jotaro had anticipated this. He quickly landed a punch right on Dio's leg. However, to his surprise, Jotaro's fist cracked at the impact. Dio, overjoyed, thought he'd won. But the next second, Dio's stand was shattered into 2 pieces, and Dio himself crashed to the ground, unable to get back up.